Good morning,
Hey,
good morning, good morning.
Beverly.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Welcome
Quentin.
to a Wednesday. This is a no sweat Wednesday where we just walk, talk, and stretch. All right, Monday is leg day as you experience. Tuesday, upper body. Wednesday, how sweet it is. This is our relaxed day where we walk, we talk, stretch, and usually we have a theme that we'll discuss as we stretch. As always, if as always, we'll start with our upper body. We'll work our way down. But someone mentioned field service today, and I wanted to bring that up with the question of, can we auxiliary pioneer if we are not currently doing so? That came up because last year we had a discussion about, can you regular pioneer? And now someone sent me a message that says, because of that conversation, they are now going to pioneer school.
Oh, wow.
So, just one encouraging conversation can be a game changer. So, let's discuss the practical, the logistics of stepping it up in the ministry. A lot of times, we look at our circumstances and we say, you know what, I can't do this, right? And we get so used to saying that we don't notice the slight changes in our circumstances over time. 3, 2, 1. So our circumstances change, but the narrative stays the same. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do this. But the thing that was preventing us from doing that hurdle might be out of the way now. That obstacle may be gone. 3, 2, 1. Echo. Let's go left and right. So can we step it up? Or if you did start pioneering later in life, what helped you to make that adjustment and realize you could do it? 3, 2, 1. Let's go over the top, left and right. Sister Jodine.
Okay, so I started pioneering early on. However, one thing I always tell people that are trying to figure it out, I heard this back when I was 10 years old. Think of the people, not the time. I feel that's it. You know, they're worried about the time, but if you really think about the people, all the ones that you have to do, we have these methods of witnessing, texting, and sending links, so on and so forth. It's unbelievable. You just think of the people on your list and keep in touch with them, and the time just adds up.
I love it. And that's coming from somebody with a lot of experience in the ministry. Thank you for sharing that. Sister Peak, 5.
Yeah, I always have the thought in mind of giving Jehovah something to bless. If we don't do anything, we don't see how Jehovah will work with us. So you have to give him something to bless. So put it out there and see what he does and keep it moving from there. So at this point, it's been 17 years I'm still moving.
Let's go. I love it. 3, 2, 1. Let's go forward. R&R.
Well, I started pioneering during the pandemic when there was no hourly requirement. And so then when they said,
3.
once they start telling the hours and they reduced the hours down to 50, I looked at my situation and said, I could do this. So I was pioneering on Zoom. So that's how I continue to pioneer was on Zoom.
4.
And a lot of people were going back to the hall. And so I created a different Zoom account with different Zoom posts that people would come to me and pioneer. So and that had worked out really good. So now I have a good support group and I'm able to pioneer still.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Sister Rita, not LeBron. I'm gently pulling my elbow back behind my head.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Quentin.
Good morning.
Yeah, I call myself a late bloomer because I started pioneering after I retired. So I always wanted to pioneer. Always was auxiliary pioneering. Loved it. But always felt I was missing the full-time pioneering, doing more for the congregation and for Jehovah, of course. So as I started pioneering, I did also start pioneering during COVID, which was interesting way of pioneering for our time. But it was enjoyable nonetheless. And I remember just praying to Jehovah because I knew I would be worried about getting my time in, but I wanted to also concentrate mostly on the people. So I prayed for Bible studies and so forth, and Jehovah blessed me because now I have 3 Bible studies.
No way!
Regular, yeah.
Right.
They're regular at the meetings, and I love it.
Nice.
I love it. And I'm possibly getting a 4th. I'm working on my neighbors, so we'll see what happens. But Jehovah has really blessed me. So I tell the friends, no matter how old you are, always give more to Jehovah. You can. Jehovah will allow you to do that. He'll help you along the way. And don't forget your brothers and sisters who are doing it already. Talk to them, and they can give you advice also.
That is great advice. I was reading something the other day, and it was just saying people talk about if I serve Jehovah full time, I'm gonna miss out on all of these opportunities. They said the only way you truly miss out in life is by not giving Jehovah your best. And that's just a good perspective. That's the only way you really miss out, because you don't know what blessings you're denying yourself by not throwing yourself all the way in.
I was going to say also the midweek meeting speaks about that, so it concentrates on giving Jehovah your best.
Amen. Sister Cody.
I started pioneering in my early 20s. The motivating factor was personal joy, and also the scripture in quote, "There's more happiness in giving than there is in receiving." I started auxiliary in my teens, and I kind of got that joy kick out of it, and I just wanted to keep going and going and going. So here I am today, like regular pioneering, and I find absolute joy in at least, well, after the initial nervousness, at least talking to someone and seeing their eyes light up when they see like some of the publications or Bible truth that I talk to them about, especially when it's in places where it's not their home. We'll strike up a conversation and I quote a scripture or something to them.
Let's do it again.
So it's like joy.
Yeah, it is. That's a great word for it, joy. Sister Farmer.
I remember one time a circuit overseer was telling us how to know when you're giving Jehovah your best. He said, put in an extra 15 minutes a week. And keep bumping that up another 15 minutes a week until you realize that you cannot do more physically or taking care of your spiritual responsibilities of your family. And then you know you're giving your best.
15 minutes. What a practical suggestion.
Directly to the stove without
what a practical suggestion.
What's going on?
3, 2, 1. Let's hold it over the top. No, 15 minutes. That's and when can you really say, "Oh, I can't do 15 more minutes"? Yeah, very practical. I like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna use that at the meeting for service today. Fringe. Romans. It has been said. 4, 3, 2, 1. I used to, on the way to the meeting, get my mom to say a quote just so I can get to the meeting and give a talk saying, "It was once said that an apple a day 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Because nobody believes it if I said it, but if I quote somebody else, someone in the history said, it's like, oh, write this down. Write this down. Someone in history said it. If I say, guess what, y'all? Like, boy, he lied. He lied. 5, 4, 3, 2. Come up slow. We're gonna do those two one more again. We're gonna do those two one more again. We're gonna come back. The Abney.
So I started pioneering back in the mid-90s.
3,
and
2.
What helped me was
1.
peer pressure, positive peer pressure.
Game changer.
Pioneers beget pioneers. And so when I came in the truth, I would hang out with the pioneers because I saw how happy they were all the time, and they had a lot of issues, like anybody else. But their happiness came from serving Jehovah. And so what happened to me was pioneering was my cure-all. Meaning, if I had issues, I didn't know about them when I was out there. You can't have positive and negative thoughts at the same time. So while you're out there preaching and helping others, you're helping yourself. You get so much joy. And so as a result, I wanted to pioneer and keep pioneering.
Let's go forward.
And that's what I did.
I love it. I love it. You can't have joy and stress at the same time. So that's it. The happiness from giving. I love it. 3, 2, 1. Show yourself some love, Sister Sally Doc.
I had heard a special talk that just stuck with me. It said, "What are you doing now that's going to matter in 100 years?"
Woo!
And I was a project person, and so I love doing little projects and stuff. And I thought, will this matter in 100 years? And that just kept repeating itself in my mind, and it was like I started pioneering.
Wow. Okay.
It was once said. Lend me your ears. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one today. Let's do our next circles again. Yeah, I'm definitely using that one. I gotta take the group out on Wednesdays, boy. They gonna love this. The opposite way. What are you doing now? And honestly, service is the only thing that's really gonna mean the hill of beans in 100 years. I mean, let's do our forearm stretch. You think about me as a male. A lot of times we grow up into cars and stuff. The craziest thing about cars is when it's on the showroom floor, you can't imagine that car rusting in the back of somebody's yard. You can't fathom it.
Yeah.
Give it some time.
Wow.
That same model that you said, oh my goodness, you give it some time, you out in service and you look in somebody's backyard like, is that car? It's crazy. 3, 2, 1. I'm sure y'all have seen it. And it's like,
oh yes.
But then they come out with the new one and it's like, oh well, then that one can't rust.
Yeah.
Because it looks so shiny. Give it some time. And it all makes sense why it says Jesus would wake up in the morning and go out in service. And then at night, Nicodemus would show up and he'd still be out in service. Like, it's the only thing that matters with time. 3, 2, 1. Let's shake it out and take a walk. Somebody's computer's going through it. There we go. OGs.
Okay. I started my first
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna mute everybody and I'm gonna let you unmute because somebody's computer's going through some trials and tribulations. Time and unforeseen occurrences. If you can unmute Sister OG. It's a blue button that says unmute. There we go.
Takes a while. Yeah, so I started pioneering late in life too because my circumstances didn't allow. But when I started pioneering, that's something that I have always do. And when I went to pioneer school, I think the instructor said, look at how many years you've been baptized and how many years in pioneering. Do the ratio, and then you know if you give it to him when you're there. So it was also an example for our daughter.
5, 4, awesome. 3, 2, and 1. You said you followed the example of your daughter, or you wanted to set the example for you?
The example.
Okay, good. Awesome. Tell her we said, how you doing? Sister Ava Williams, Savannah, Georgia's in the building, y'all, in case y'all didn't know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go left and right.
I started pioneering in 2003. A lot of it was because of, like the other sister said, being around other pioneers.
4, 3.
The other reason was because I felt like Jehovah was asking me to do it. And when I talked to my husband about it, he just kept saying, what does Jesus say? Seek first the kingdom.
You got a good one.
So,
just in case you didn't know, you got a good one.
Well, that was the only answer he would actually give me, not a yes or no. So I started in 2003, and then in 2004, I went to Pioneer School for the first time, and that was the year that all those friends that had been pioneering 40, 50 years prior got to come for a second time.
3,
so they were in my class, and
2,
that experience is what kept me pioneering.
On a hamstring.
Because I asked them, how did you pioneer for so long, 40 and 50 years? And they will all give me the same answer. It's my life. And so it totally changed my thinking, because I was like, I'm going to try for a year and see if I can do it. But after that class, I made a determination to continue pioneering.
I love it.
And I've gotten so many blessings because of it. But I will tell you, the tragic part is in January of this year, I had to come off the list because my husband is sick and I'm caregiving for him, and I had my own health issues.
Want to press one heel down behind.
But I still feel like a pioneer at heart, and I'm going to work at getting back on the list. But I would encourage anybody to do it, because it's just like someone said, the joy you get from it.
Keep that heel down.
Unmatched.
I love it. Thank you for your example. Not only in pioneering, but in taking care of your husband. That's what the Bible was saying, or what the Watchtower was saying about knowing what's more important. And if we're out there helping strangers, but our mate is suffering at home, it's a little unbalanced. 5, 4, 3, 2, let's release it, and 1. Then put our other heel down, press it into the floor, keep it down, don't let it come up. While it's pressed down into the floor, we're gonna shift our body weight forward, stretch our calf. You should feel it right in here. Stretch it. Once you start to feel it tighten up, we're just gonna leave it right there and just keep breathing. This is music from back in my day. I got y'all. I'm digging myself now. 5, 4. Watch this. I'm gonna release it first in 3, 2. I'm gonna come out of it. Let that tension go away, and then step out of it. I'm gonna walk it out one more time. Sister Simpkins. I want to
love. Pioneering was like an antidote for me for all the issues that were going on in my life at that time. And I've always wanted to pioneer, but like one sister said, I had the wrong way of thinking about it. It was all about the time, 70 hours, I got it the hours. I was making it about the time. And I kind of lost my joy because my focus wasn't in the right place. When I started to make it about people and just talking to people, it was much more enjoyable. And although at one time I had to get off the list, I got back on and been pioneering ever since, and really, really enjoy. You learn so much out of the ministry from the old timers, and just being able to strengthen your faith, because the more you talk about Jehovah, the more your faith is strengthened. And my mom, which is a side note, very faithful sister, raised 6 kids, worked all the time, never got a chance to pioneer. Well, when she turned 81,
let's go knees up.
Stopped regular pioneering.
No way.
Yeah.
When she turned 81.
81.
Lord have mercy. That is awesome. I had the privilege of meeting her a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Awesome. 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 5, 4, 3. Get them knees up. 5 more seconds. Get them knees up. I see somebody just patting their knees. Nah, get them knees up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go heels up. Sister Sims. Same thing. Get them heels up now. We came here to work today. 4, 3.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. But what really helped me was the sister that aided me in the truth was a regular pioneer. I worked out in service with regular pioneers, and I always enjoyed the field service, like I still do now. And a brother at an assembly said, if Jehovah asked you why aren't you pioneering, what could you honestly tell him? And that really got me going. I started crying at the assembly. And my husband said, well, why don't you pioneer? Why are you crying? But I thought I couldn't because I had 4 children.
3, 2,
but what really
1,
got me was the scripture at Malachi 3:10, where it says, Jehovah says, test me out and see that I would open the floodgates
3
of heaven on you.
2.
So that just kept sticking with me.
And now
And
that hamstring one more time.
brought a pioneer slip to my house one day because I was out in service all the time.
I'm gonna lean forward.
And he said, Harriet, at the service meeting, I want you to fill this out and read. And I said, well, I'll put it on my refrigerator.
He said,
and
don't
I'll
work like
pray
that.
over it. He said, no, if you know Jehovah, you've been out all the time, you're putting in auxiliary
10 more seconds.
hours.
10 more seconds. 9.
He said,
8,
Jehovah will give you the spirit
7,
to do what you need to do. If you're
5,
not pioneering, you
4,
won't get the spirit to really move forward.
2.
So that
1.
night, I told my husband when he came home, he said, here, you fill out the application. You know this is what you want to do. So I filled out the application, and I have received the floodgates of blessings. My husband pioneered for 15 years before he passed.
Wow.
I had a daughter that pioneered, and Jehovah has blessed me to do it for over 40 years. I thank him, and I thank him, because this is the best work that I could ever do.
Amen.
It's like the sister said, it's your lifeline.
4,
continue to serve
3, 2, release
and
it.
that's my experience.
And shout out to that brother who brought you that slip.
Yes. He was an elder. I had 2 elders
Heel
that
down.
was on me
Let's
all the
shift
time.
forward. Yeah, those are those, they call it the butterfly effect, where it's like one little thing that has huge consequences. And yeah, it's good to have positive people in our lives. 5, 4, 3. Remember to release the tension before you stand out of it. And 2. Releasing. And 1. There we go. We're going to go straight up and straight down. I'm going to stand with my legs slightly separated and go up and down. I'm going to try to reach close towards the floor as I can. I'm not saying touch the floor, but I am going to go as far as I can go. Sister Archie.
Morning, and everyone. I can understand what most people understand.
8.
Studying with a pioneer.
7.
Around the pioneer.
6.
A sister said, make it a goal to accelerate
5.
at least one. And I follow that.
4.
And within 5 years,
3.
I become a regular client. And
2.
Anyone who is not a pioneer, test out Jehovah.
1. Let's get in this chair real quick.
Because there's so much benefit for being pioneering. For me, consistency was a start. And pioneering make consistency become my way of life. And I was able to help others to start pioneering.
Real quick, 1 second. For those of y'all who are new to this stretch, make sure you please take this one slow. We're gonna cross one leg if we can. If you can get it up here, just do the best you can. We're gonna take our torso and lean forward. You're gonna feel it really tight in your glutes and your upper thigh. So take it very, very slow. With time, this will loosen up, but this isn't a stretch that we normally do. You might be surprised by how tight it may be. So I'm gonna take my chest and just slowly come straight forward towards my shin. In 3, 2, 1. All right. You can continue, my sister.
Get up with that exercise. That's it.
Okay. Well, we're happy for you. We're happy you decided to start pioneering. But my glutes are screaming. Oof. 5, 4, 3, 2. Release it slow. And 1. My. We haven't done that. We haven't done that one in a while. But ooh. That's what we say. Lord of mercy. We're gonna cross the other one. Who is next? I can't see. Marshawn Brown. We're gonna go forward in 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness.
I like pioneering. With many, when they say they had a strategy in our congregation where the pioneers would get together and target
5,
who they wanted
4,
to encourage to come out and service
3,
more. And
2,
eventually they became pioneers. And I was one of those. And then I became part of the team. And we set targets. And eventually they pioneered. It was actually more to help people enjoy being out in service. Finding out what their schedule was.
Let's walk it out.
And to get them more open toward it, to coming out in service at different times. But one thing I enjoyed, my first pioneer school, certain things that I keep in mind is when they said, don't let your family be sacrificed on the altar of sacred service. And so, it was easy to fall into, okay, well, I'm gonna go out and field service and the family's gonna pick up with cooking, cleaning, this, that, and the other. And it was like, no, those are your responsibilities regardless. So you keep doing that, then for your family, who you hope to be future pioneers, you don't want them to look negatively on it because of how you do it. And so they were like, do not sacrifice your family on the altar of sacred service. They said, you make sure you do what you're supposed to do. If they volunteer, besides regular responsibilities, don't let pioneering be the excuse of why they don't. So they was like, I remember that. And I always kept that in mind. And even when we encourage others, You know, it's like, we're in your schedule. You know, could you, give an hour? And it was interesting because I had the surgery in October. And so coming out, Zoom has been my main thing since then. But the other day, I ventured out to go out and fill service after the meeting. And it is an adventure to put the trust in Jehovah for these things, because you don't even know how they're going to end up. And the brother said they were mostly concentrating on return visits. I really didn't have any for that day. So me and the other friends, we did park witnessing. And we only intended for an hour. We spent like 2.5 hours out in field service. And conversation after conversation after conversation with people. It was one of the best times. And many of the friends who were out that day look forward to doing it again.
3.
And so it was nice.
2.
It was really nice.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Speaking of time, can you believe it or not? That is our time for today. Time flies when you're having fun, especially when you're with friends. But thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. I see there are some more hands up. Feel free to stay on. I'm going to stay on. I would love to hear your experiences. But for this portion of the class, we're going to wrap this one up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We just got moving. Great job, y'all. Great job.
Enjoy.